need. So the other benefit, here's a few others actually, of broadening the conversation is, of course, it enhances collaboration. It brings other people and other voices to the table. It demonstrates that you're an inclusive partner. It encourages innovation and different solutions and different ways of getting around things. It strengthens our movement as a cycling advocacy community. Enhances understanding of our work because we build bridges to others. And it starts to reframe that polarizing conversation, which fortunately we see less and less of these days. Cars versus bike. It's suddenly starting to become, we're working together to build livable communities and partnering for change, which is obviously the conversation we want to have. I think some of the non-for-profit skills mean by necessity that we have to partner with others. Of course, part of this is resource-based, but part of it is essentially that we have to, tackle all these things, touching the ceiling and the floor at the same time. I don't know what the handout means.
5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. I touched on this early, and most of you know this, but those of us in the non-for-profit sector are resource towns. We don't have a lot of resources. So reaching out to others, working in partnership is where it's at. And of course, increasingly, these are the people that are at the table with us, right? Public health, the private sector, the bike industry, those independent bike dealers are our partners. Those guys work. I'm always, in my talks, when I'm talking to politicians, I say, one of the things I want you to do, I ask them, when's the last time you went to a bike shop and sat down and watched the conversation that transpires in the bike shop? Talk to the bike shop owner, ask his or her opinion about what's going on in cycling, and see the community develop on a Saturday morning as people come in to get their bikes fixed or a tire changed or whatever. Those are the fulcrum for areas where we have a fulcrum of ideas and conversations, and I think it's important that we work with our independent bike dealers to really strengthen that conversation. Other people that we work with, Collaborating for Change, credible NGOs, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Ontario Medical Association, the Ontario Trucking Association, all partners that we work with. The OTA is an interesting one. Someone asked me, why are you working with the truckers? Well, we've got a piece of work called the Green Paper, which is on our website, and it talks about legislative change. And one of the things that we're working on right now are paved shoulders. Bike policy for Ontario, which has now been written and is waiting to be released. I'm assuming that Minister Way mentioned it this morning in her talk because it's something she's driven. Is really, about various elements, but one of the important ones is paved shoulders in municipalities. And the Ontario Trucking Association is our partner in advocating for paved shoulders because rigs want that. They want paved shoulders. They don't want the gravel there. And of course, we know all the economic and other powerful reasons why paved shoulders are important. I talked about chambers of commerce and boards of trade. And of course, really, whenever I sit down with government or talk to funders, the first question they ask is, are you working with so-and-so? Who are your partners? So again, to be the transformative leaders we need to be, we need to work together. So we go from this, which is the unlikable and unlikable modern landscape. Yikes. Does that look like your region? No, I'm just kidding. That could be all region where I live. We're right up with you, by the way, in terms of urban density. To this, which is really bikeable, likable, and friendly, and to get the changes we need at all levels of society, from our youngest. Here's a cool picture. These are all from Appledorn, which is our twin city. I live in Burlington, and I was there in 2007. This is my friend and her 3-year-old on a bike. How cool is that? Her kids riding to school. And then the not so young. Great. Notice it doesn't say old. It's just a question of your abilities. And means working together to get the change that we need. And understanding those creative, out-of-the-box approaches are really critical. So together we can achieve our dreams. This is one vision of a dream, which is not so bad. This is a bike share program in Appledorn, in the forest there. A really lovely street on the way downtown. Nirvana, I know, terrific. And this is in Paris. That's your version of a good time. It's certainly mine. Les Deux Magots, which is a very famous cafe there with the Bixie bikes. And the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, of course, and the other famous Eleanor, as I like to call her. I know I'm running out of time. This is the lovely Ghent train station. They're building a facility there, and wait for it, for 40,000 bikes. Yeah, one more time with feeling, right? 40,000 bikes. Unbelievable. I think Yvonne's still there. So I'm just going to breeze through this very, very quickly, but I think it's important to note that The name coalition in our name comes about very, very honestly. We give it a great deal of thought. It's all about partnership, working collaboratively. We obviously develop those strategic partnerships that are critical. We're all about building capacity in the municipal sector too. And when you think about it, developing relationships with legislators and being relationship focused is where we need to be. I'm going to give a quick commercial to our bike summit, which is the end of June. If any of you are in the Ottawa area, or if you want to join our website and find out more information about our bike summit and who's coming, what speakers we're going to have, we welcome that. This will be our third. We're focusing on putting livability and livable communities on the election agenda. Some of you may have heard we have that other election coming up in the fall, which is critically important for our province. And of course, we attract a number of you like-minded folks to be with us. Our minister has confirmed. We've got some good speakers lined up already, I think. A quick word on the road ahead and some of the challenges we're facing. Of course, a tight fiscal framework. Don't need to tell that to the municipal people at the front. We've got permeating our conversation right now is a discourse around expenditures versus investments. I saw, not to get political, but I did see in the Globe and Mail today that there was a big project in Toronto that was denied recently, and some of the comments, as I reflected on them, were folks concerned about spending money. Sorry. When we spend money all the time, I think it's important to think about the return on investment on those projects, rather than just seeing them as a $2 million expenditure, or $3 or $4 or $5 million expenditure. All these road projects are big, right? None of them are small. This isn't a bite-sized sort of world that we live in. And so when we look at the return on investment for cycling, don't get me started, I have to be here for another 10 days. We really need to think about that. So settling into permeating our conversation, I won't say anything about the grade of the train, because I don't know. It's just, folks who don't know the difference between expenditures and investments, and I think that's important. We do have a sensationalism that permeates our media. Here's some good opportunities, social media. I'm old now, but all the young people in the audience know this. And we do it too, share the road actually. Social media is a vehicle for the kind of collaboration we need. And the growing concerns in all of these pernicious areas, economy or environment, public health and congestion, boy, cycling is a tool to combat all of those. And of course, we have a growing list of partners. And don't forget Margaret Mead, who said that, small groups of people working together is the only thing that creates meaningful change. I think I did it. Thank you very much.